Imagine a place that tells a story spanning centuries, where culture and nature intertwine to create something truly extraordinary. That's the beauty of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. I'm Abigail, and this is Global Treasures, the podcast that covers the history, travel tips, and legends surrounding one of the 1,223 World Heritage Sites each episode. These places have been identified as having universal cultural or natural significance that is so exceptional that it transcends national boundaries and is of importance to present and future generations. Welcome to Season 2, where we'll explore the 45 sites that UNESCO added in 1979 together. Thank you for listening to the Global Treasures podcast. We appreciate all of your support, and you can continue to support us by subscribing at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Podbean. You can also follow us on TikTok and Facebook. Please tell your friends about us as well. In the ancient heart of Iran's Khuzestan province lies Tchogha Zanbil, an Elamite complex and one of the world's few surviving ziggurats outside of Mesopotamia. A ziggurat is a tiered temple tower that has several terraced levels. One may picture a classic Egyptian temple, and while the two may be somewhat similar, they differ in that pyramids have flat walls and primarily served as tombs, while ziggurats were primarily used for religious purposes. Built around 1250 BC by King Untash-Napirisha, the site was originally known as Dur-Untash, or Town of Untash. Built to honor the god Inshushinak, it was likely never home to a large population, but instead served as accommodations for priests and servants. Roughly translating to basket mound, this site was considered to be a highly sacred spiritual center. Protected by 3 walls, Tchogha Zanbil was designed with a specific purpose. Between the outer and middle walls stood temples dedicated to Napirisha and Inshushinak. At the center of the complex stood the Grand Ziggurat, one of the best preserved examples of its kind, which is one of the main reasons UNESCO inscribed it as a World Heritage Site in 1979. The tiered temple tower once reached a height of over 174 feet high in its glory days, but currently it stands at around 81.5 feet high. Originally, it was covered in glazed baked bricks, many of them engraved with inscriptions. At its pinnacle stood a temple positioned to align with the stars and the holy directions of the cardinal points. It appears that the outer walls had 7 gates at some point, but only 2 have been found. Brick inscriptions also refer to 22 temples, but only half of them have been discovered at the site. The middle area contained 11 other temples devoted to numerous gods, such as Nabu, the god of literacy and wisdom, Shala, the goddess of weather and grain, and Manzat, the goddess of the rainbow. Shrines and sanctuaries extended across the complex, and a funerary space in the recesses of the outer area housed 5 royal tombs of the Elamite kingdom. In one, archaeologists discovered the remains of a woman aged between 40 and 60 years, buried with treasured grave goods. This was notable because it's believed that cremation burials may have been a practice of the time. The site was built in phases, and construction carried on even after Untash-Napirisha's death. Some scholars believe that Untash-Napirisha's long-term plan for the city was to replace Susa as a spiritual center that would merge highland and lowland Elam. Tchoga Zanbil was eventually ravaged by the Assyrian king Ashurbanipal around 645 BC. There's evidence of a rapid evacuation along with purposeful demolition of the site, such as vandalizing of statues and the brick inscriptions. This ancient site was forgotten for centuries until a geologist who came in search of oil discovered a brick inscribed with its history that read like the script of a Hollywood movie. That discovery ushered in a period of major excavations led by French archaeologist Roman Hirschman. Between the years of 1951 and 1962, almost 2 miles of debris were carried away, and the design of the sacred metropolis began to resurface. Glazed terracotta statues, glass tiles, and over 5,000 inscribed bricks were some of the valuable items that were uncovered, giving a glimpse into the splendor of this Elamite refuge. Since then, UNESCO and other entities have worked tirelessly to protect Tchogha Zanbil. Petroleum digging has posed a threat for the base of the site, as it requires seismic testing, which is essentially mimicking the conditions of an earthquake to see how the structure holds up. This, of course, could be problematic if there are structural issues. Digging has been conducted around 1,000 feet from the ziggurat, so this needs to be monitored because that's quite close. Though, ironically, some historical discoveries of artifacts have been due to this work. There is a holistic and extensive management plan in place that's being carried out on a daily basis to ensure that visitors will be able to enjoy Tchoga Zanbil into the future. Now, let me cover some logistics and travel tips for those who plan on traveling to this incredible place. If you're flying in from another country, check your country's government website for entry requirements, such as vaccines and travel advisories. For example, the United States does not have an embassy within the country. I would suggest enrolling in programs such as STEP, which provides travelers with free safety alerts. In case you're trying to figure out the best time of year to visit, the weather may be a good guide if you're heat sensitive. The summers are hot and can get up to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, with winters getting as low as 32 degrees Fahrenheit. If you're wondering what clothing you should pack, breathable layers are important, but make sure that you dress modestly, no matter when you go. And bring a scarf to cover your head if you're a woman. The closest airport is Awaz International Airport. From there, you can take a taxi or rideshare to Shush. There's no public transportation available. In order to visit the country, you need to book a tour with an authorized Iranian travel agency for an escorted tour if you're from certain parts of North America and the UK. Be sure to book your flight and tour a minimum of 3 to 6 months in advance whenever possible. The benefit, as always, is that a tour will be conducted in your native language, along with the fact that they book the bus tickets or private vehicle, hotel stay, often your meals, can help arrange for visa service, plus arrival and departure from your airport. Homestay sites are not an option for those within the US and UK, so you'll want to check for your specific country. If you're from a country where you don't need government-approved guides, you can go independently or with private guides. You also should be able to buy a ticket for entrance online. Just know that while the signage seems to be in English and other languages, this site is giant and remote, so a tour might still be your best bet. In terms of payment methods, typical credit cards many use do not function in Iran. You may want to bring cash instead and exchange it for reals, which is their currency, upon your arrival. Wi-Fi may also not readily be available in public spaces, like in some other countries, so you may want to look into a SIM card. There is a high level of security at this site, so you may want to leave your bag on the tour bus or keep what you bring to a minimum. They've had attempted robberies in the past. Also know that you're not allowed to physically climb on the ruins for preservation purposes. If you go during a hotter time of the year, going in the morning when it's light, but not scorching temperature-wise, is ideal. You will also likely get better photos. In terms of food, know that you'll not be able to imbibe while in Iran, as alcohol is prohibited. Also, tea is the customary drink served, so you can find coffee, but it just isn't as common. So if you're a caffeine addict like me, you may want to bring instant with you. In terms of the cuisine, staples include rice, often paired with spiced meats and vegetables. One dish worth trying is abu gusht, which is a stew with lamb, beans, and potatoes. In case you're interested in seeing some other well-known sites while in the area, you may want to book a tour that also includes a stop at Shushtar Historical Hydraulic System and Susa, which are two other UNESCO World Heritage Sites we haven't yet covered, as they were inducted in 2009 and 2015 respectively. They are both about an hour away by vehicle. The Tomb of Daniel, dedicated to the prophet Daniel, is also relatively close, and it is beautiful. Check out the links in the show notes for information and tools to help make your trip planning easier at no extra cost to you. Today, Tchogha Zanbil stands as a stunning reminder of ancient religious ambition, its towering ziggurat defying time and marking its importance in the annals of history. Tchogha Zanbil helps us better understand the customs, ideas, rituals, and societal beliefs of one of the oldest groups of indigenous peoples in the country's history. Join us next time as we cover the Thracian tomb of Kazanluk in Bulgaria. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is a vaulted tomb, which is part of a larger royal necropolis. The beautiful murals are widely considered to be the best preserved art in Bulgaria from the Hellenistic period. Come learn about the history, legends, and travel tips for visiting this exceptional site. Until then, keep exploring, keep wondering, and keep treasuring the remarkable diversity of our world's heritage.